This is a pre-recorded talk for the International Conference on Software Engineering on the education track, entitled Adopting Industry Agile Practices in Large-Scale Capstone Education. Welcome. My name is Peter Eklund and I'm Professor of Computer Science at Deakin University, Melbourne, Australia. This talk presents work conducted at Deakin from 2018 when the teaching team embarked on a reorganisation and remodelling of 4 capstone units that were experiencing a number of problems. Grade inflation due to process-based assessment, poor and unsophisticated project outcomes, client, student and supervisor dissatisfaction, and high attrition or dropout rates. Deakin's a multi-campus public university, and this presentation relates to the activities at Deakin's largest campus, which is in a suburb called Burwood, 12 kilometres east of Melbourne, and it relates to the School of Information Technology. The school offers 5 undergraduate degrees in computer science, in cybersecurity, in software engineering, artificial intelligence, and information technology, representing 10 ICT discipline or specialisation areas. The School of Information Technology also offers Masters by Coursework degrees in information technology, both conversion and extension programs, and a master's degree in data science. Now, the School of Information Technology at Deakin is very large, even by Australian standards. In 2019, there were 2,500 full-time equivalent students at the Deakin Burwood campus, and because the capstone units are a compulsory feature of all of our courses or degrees, we figure that about 1,000 students at both undergraduate and postgraduate level will be enrolled in one of the 4 capstone units in any single teaching semester. In addition, there are also students studying in our cloud campus, that is to say, studying online. So many student teams consist of blended on-campus and online learners. As well as the challenge of scale, previous experience with Capstone had proven unsatisfactory. Projects that lasted just a single semester achieved very little and were unconvincing, and many external clients became frustrated, and student and faculty satisfaction with the capstone units was at an all-time low. So these were the motivations for an intervention, and what we tried to do was to rehabilitate the capstone units around the following motivations. Firstly, we wanted an industry relevant experience, namely an experience that is similar to practices in the workplace. We also wanted an authentic learning experience, and by that we mean that students would learn new skills through the conduct of the capstone units. We also wanted continuity of learning experience, namely that the projects have a life of their own beyond just a single teaching period, and that students get to work on a topic in a sustained way in order to achieve sophisticated project outcomes. A successful client experience, that our external clients see meaningful projects developed to address their problem statements. We also want scalability in the approach, that the student model will be sustainable and supportable for hundreds of students. To support that, we need effective support for the students, that is, suitable resourcing and a support matrix that means that the students have access to the help they need when they need it. In rethinking how the capstone experience could be improved at Deakin, we turned to agile and scalable models in the ICT industry, where a matrix of support could organically evolve from the organisational model under ideal circumstances. The Spotify Tribe and Squads model seemed like a good starting point. Now, some adjustments are necessary in the educational context. In 2019, we experimented with a single academic supervisor per squad, but found that the levels of engagement of supervisors with students was uneven, some supervisors being more enthusiastic than others. In 2020, we successfully experimented with a model in which there was an academic and industry mentor who provided advice to 4 different squads in a single timetabled 3-hour block each week. A single tribe leader, who is a full-time faculty member, serves as the contact point for the squads in a tribe, and they act as an intermediary to the external client, the product owner. In addition, we want to achieve continuous improvement of the product line over time, And that necessitates doing something which is quite bold. So what is it that's so bold? Project continuity is in fact addressed by considering students in the first semester of the capstone as C1 students. On the slide here it says the junior students, but we never refer to them as such. We refer to them as C1 students. And students in the second capstone unit are known as C2 students. Over the time since we started this model, the C2 students have transitioned through the project from being C1 students, and they can then offer mentoring to the newly arriving C1 students. The result has been an increasingly more sophisticated product lines as the squads continuously refresh their members working on the same project or theme or tribe. We also believe that this continually evolving project model is a good representation of ICT industry practice, namely that it promotes leadership and peer mentoring between one generation of students to the next. The idea is that a single tribe can have multiple squads who can respond to the same or different aspects of the product line. In 2020, there were 18 tribes and approximately 615 undergraduate students and 660 postgraduate students. Now, this is full-time equivalent students, and there's a lot of overlap between from the cohort from T1 to T2 as the T1 students, the C1 students, Capstone 1 students, as they evolve into the Capstone 2 unit. It's the same, mostly the same people, but not exactly the same people. So in total, there were 65 undergraduate squads and 75 postgraduate squads. That's a total of 140 squads in 2020. Now, what are the tribes? Well, we have a cybersecurity tribe. We have several ed tech tribes. We have several blockchain tribes that respond to different use cases and so on. We also have virtual reality and games as a specialization, and those students are accommodated with tribes that are suitable to their specialization. We've also experimented with the chapter idea from the Spotify model, offering professional development materials on a variety of generic ICT tools, GitHub, Trello, React.js, Unify programming, and so on. Another feature of the resourcing for the capstone has been the provision of professional tech support personnel. These are full stack developers in the ICT industry that we hire in as casuals for 4 to 8 hours a week. And here the students can book those full stack developers, and they can ask questions about resourcing tech advice and toolkits and programming. Another key ingredient, both pre and post-corona, is the physical space intended to make a sticky campus, a place that students want to be. To this end, 800 square meters of dedicated space for capstone students is an important feature of our model. This creates a co-working space with presentation rooms, boardrooms, video conferencing that simulates a typical high-quality ICT workplace. And it results in a working environment that allows students to meet with each other, with their academic and industry mentors, the tribe leaders, and the unit chairs. A dedicated administrative support team is also on hand so that the entire experience from the student's point of view is professionally administered. What are the results? So early survey results suggest very high levels of student satisfaction, with only 12 from the 90 respondents in 2019 being either neutral or negative to the statement that capstone project units allowed me to improve my IT skills in order to get IT related employment in the industry. So only 12 of 90 students were either neutral or negative to that statement. We've also observed a much lower attrition rate, with the new model down around 20% from peak attrition rates of 2018, which triggered the intervention. Grade inflation is also improving. And in the first teaching period of 2020 that has just concluded, less than 35% of students were awarded D or HD grades, compared to more than 50% in 2019 and 84% at the peak in 2012. So that concludes my presentation. I will be on hand in the flesh to give the talk during the scheduled period, and this video just serves as a backup. Thank you very much for listening.